Tired of feeling like you're spinning all the plates in your design business and at any moment they could all come crashing down? Are you feeling like you're so close to breaking through to the next level, but those consistent projects still aren't flowing your way? Are you ready to finally take your business from a hobby to 100K and beyond? Then welcome to the SixFigure Designer Podcast. I'm talking all the techniques you need in your design business to start paying yourself, get great clients, and finally break through that 5-figure ceiling. So, hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me today. Actually, I have a very special guest. I have Audra with me, who is a current coaching client. Audra is an interior designer who has a business in Florida, just like me. And I wanted to have her come on today and just talk a little bit about her experience with the last round of Purchasing Made Easy Challenge that I did, and just give some real-time feedback on what she felt the program did for her, the challenge did for her. So Audra, welcome to talking to me and talking to our group about your experience. Happy
I'm
to
s-
have you here.
I am very happy to talk to you and talk about this program.
Awesome. So why don't you just give a little bit of background, just a little bit about like your company, where you're located, how big it is, what kind of work you do.
We're located in Tampa, Florida, which is cool because Pam's in Naples, just south of us. And I have a residential interior design firm. I started it 2 years ago. I do have a couple of commercial clients, and I have done a couple of projects out of state, but mostly we're here. We're like meeting clients, seeing them, transforming spaces. We love the big reveal. So I love to take it from the ground up, like all the way from like the initial design to like taking the trash out of the driveway at the end.
You're
And
nuts, right?
that is how I like to do it. Those are my favorite projects. And that's definitely where I'm trying to push my business right now.
Yeah, and you have the one thing that struck me about you, which aside from like you're super cute and fun and funky, is that you have a very strong vision and idea of who your client is. And you also have an interesting background that kind of ties to that client. So can you just give everyone like a little background on what that is?
First, thanks for saying I'm super cute.
You are.
I think we share an artsy vibe, which I love. So my vision for the business is um I really want to grow. Okay, the background. So my background is I was doing other things before this. I was in financial services and I was a VP at a hedge fund for a long time in Manhattan. And then I moved to Florida, met my husband, had a kid, and just changed everything and started this business. And so now the person that I like to work with a lot is somebody like me, like somebody that was me, like somebody that's like so busy with their career and wants to hire out the help, like doesn't wants a stress-free experience, wants it run like a project, wants it like super buttoned up. This is like the kind of person that I really have enjoyed working with. I think I like a C-suite director level, some kind of like business person who's in the professional world. And I have most enjoyed working with that kind of person. I want somebody that just wants to like give me the reins and like I run with it.
Yeah, totally. And there's so many things I want to kind of bring up there that I think makes you so relatable to a lot of other designers. Is one, this is your second career. And there's a lot of other designers building businesses out there that also have that as a second career. And um many of them, and I don't know how you felt about this, but almost felt like that second career like had no bearing on how you run your business, or how you could run an interior design business. And I think one of the first things that we talked about was like, oh my God, this is great. Like you can bring so many skills from your previous life to your current life. So that I thought was really great for other people to hear. That's, second career. So many of that going on. So if this is you listening and you're thinking about joining the challenge, yeah, there's lots of people with all different kinds of backgrounds, out of school, second career, been in business a long time. So we kind of run the gamut there. And then the other thing that you said, which I thought was so interesting, is which actually is exactly how I feel in my own business, is that I want to deal with people who are a lot like me. And I just think that that's kind of a cool connection that we have, and that it's very similar because when you work with people that are like you in that way, you kind of already know how they think because you like to work that way too, and so do they. So it has to do with how you approach things. And I think those clients can really appreciate that because they know that you're approaching it exactly how they would want it approached. So I just think those two things are worth mentioning. So I want you to just go back a few months. So you had signed up for the Purchasing Made Easy Challenge. I'm running another one of those next week, and all that sign up info will be in the show notes. But I wanted you to just talk a little bit about like what made you sign up for the challenge? Like what was going on in your business at the time where you were just like, okay, whatever I'm doing is not working and maybe this thing will work. What was happening?
I've been in business 2 years, and I spent those 2 years trying to figure out how to run a business and deal with clients. Like, a lot of this was very new to me, and I had to build a process. I had to, like, get those initial projects under my belt, and I felt like I was in a really good space with that. After 2 years, I've got, like, a portfolio going, and I've got, like, enough experience to, like, have a bit of a handle on that. And so for me, the next question is really like scaling and profitability. And that is where I was stuck because I was doing a lot of work, like incredibly busy, but
Mhm.
like not making nearly enough profit doing it. And so that's exactly where I was when I was in the challenge. I was thinking specifically about profitability.
And the types of things I'm assuming you're also figuring out, like, how can I ramp up other parts of my business to make another stream of income within the interior design business, correct?
Yeah, right. It had to be scalable, and it had to, like, make sense because if not, it's like either you can make this sustainable or you can just, like, bounce out of doing it, and I didn't wanna do that, and I didn't really see any need, like, that wasn't a real thing, but the real thing was, like, I also didn't know how to, like, keep climbing the ladder, so I was just, like, in this weird spot where I was like, "I don't really know where to go."
Yeah, I'm stuck, right? I'm stuck where I'm at, and now what? Where do I take it from here?
Yes.
And how are you feeling sort of about purchases in your business? Had you been doing purchasing before you started the challenge? Had you done some kind of purchasing in the business?
I had done a lot of retail, and I had done a little bit of wholesale. So I felt like I had some experience with both, and I knew that I wanted to go in the wholesale direction, but I hadn't done enough of it to really understand, like, how to make it work in practice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You were trying to figure out, like, this is something I know I want to do, but I actually don't know how to go about doing it.
I had already decided that I wanted product to be a profit center for me, and I knew that I wanted to go, like, fully charged in the direction of, like, wholesale. So I
Mhm.
had made that decision when I jumped on the challenge. It was just like, but there's, like, a huge gap between deciding, on a plan that you think is great and actually understanding how to implement it.
Yeah, and I think that's I mean, but the great thing is that you recognize that there was the gap there that you just didn't know how to fill, and so you filled it by taking the challenge. So what was the one thing? So you did the challenge for 2 days, you were a faithful participant, and which was really great, and you're very active in that. what was one of the, what were some of the things that struck you after you went through that challenge? Some of the takeaways where you realized, okay, like I've learned some things, or I learned how to do some things, but or I've also learned that there's a lot of things I don't know. What was your biggest one of your biggest takeaways from that challenge?
So I'm gonna be honest, that challenge for me, it was on a weekend and I have a toddler
Yeah.
and I was just like on a wing and a prayer trying to like have that in earbuds while I was walking around cleaning the house. And I like trying to take in as much free content as I can. Like I'm a big data collector. And so I like listening to a lot of things and getting ideas. I almost never go beyond that though. And I don't know, it was so weird. It was very weird for me to hop on for, like, 2 days of like, an hour-long call each with Pam and decide to buy. Like, I was, like, very out of character for me. But I think the thing that I saw was, first of all, like, there's a huge difference. There are a lot of coaches in the interior design space, like, scads.
Mhm.
But I think the thing that really caught my eye about Pam and this coaching opportunity, and it was like, first of all, we kind of talked about how like we process things similarly. Like I like Pam
Mhm.
makes things very easy. Like it's just like things that are very complicated in my head. I can tell them to Pam and she's like, "Why don't you do this?" And it's 2 sentences long, and I'm like, "That's exactly what I'm gonna do." So, like, just a great way of being a straight shooter, simplifying things, making everything digestible. We even, in a couple instances, like, figured out, like, the baby step version of the bigger thing, which
Oh yeah, we all want to go to step 25, right? And then there's like, yeah, let's start with one. Yeah,
yeah, like
all rolling.
yeah, for me, I commit so hard. You were like, "I'm there, I was participating." Like, that's my whole thing, like, once I'm in, like, I'm in, and
You are
wa
all in.
I just wanna do, like, step 25 today, but I
Yeah,
feel
you're a
like
great student to have too, because you do stuff. So that's awesome.
and I feel thank you. And I also felt like this back to the scads of interior designers, I think that one thing that's really important is Pam's got, like, 30 years of experience, like, she's a professional, super experienced interior designer, and I think I could hear that, like, right away. And I do these things a lot, and I just think there's, like, a lot to learn from somebody who not only has, like, she's got all the accreditations, but she's also got this, like, breadth of experience, and I just feel like there's nothing that I can ask her that she has not tackled before. And so not only does she have a solution, but she has smart solutions, and she has things that are actually gonna, like, take your business to the next level. And how do we know that it's gonna go to the next level? Because she's already gone through that level. It's like Zelda, like, she's already at the end, and we're just, like, trying to keep
Yeah,
you're at the end, like,
not
you've
bad.
won. You've
Yeah.
almost won Zelda, okay? Like
Mhm.
and, like, we're it's nice to see somebody who has done it and has been successful. That's the kind of person that I wanna take advice from.
Well, thank you for that. And I appreciate that. And I think that, kind of what Audra's also touching on is that the challenge is free, but there's a lot of meat in the challenge. Like there's a lot of information that you can take and literally implement in your business after the challenge. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. And I would say, I was looking kind of back through our notes and some of the emails that you had sent me. And one of the things that I saw as one of your bigger takeaways, because I think you even said this to me, is you gave me permission to make money. And I thought that was so well said. And I was actually very happy that I could help you with that. But do you want to talk a little bit about that, where you were given permission to actually make some real money as opposed to not much money, but still, giving the client all the things?
Yeah, I think I was nervous to charge up too much, and like everybody is, right? Like, everybody who starts out in interior design is like this. It's just like, "I don't wanna overcharge." Like, I want them to be happy, and I want them to work with me.
Right.
But I think, like, day 1, I came in with Pam and I was just like, "Hey, so like I'm doing this and I'm like not putting much of anything like in my purse at the end of the day." And I think it was just like the very straightforward answer of like, "Oh, well, you need to mark this up considerably and this is how you do it. There's the formula. Boom." So, like, for me, that's very easy. Like, it's practical. You can apply it,
Yep.
and it's like somebody who's been doing this for a long time is telling me the right way to do it, and that just feels like permission to me. It feels like, "Oh, this isn't wrong, like, this is how Pam's been doing it for years," and, like, so there's, like, a I think, like, the authority that you have, that you share with others is, like, there is a bit of, like, permission granting there. It's like, "Okay, this is the right way to do it."
Right. And I think the context of knowledge. So, especially if you're relatively new in the industry, you don't know where other people are sitting in general, in terms of markups and things. So, that's one of the things that we talk about. And that's another part of the permission
Yes,
angle that you know that it's acceptable.
yes, that's another good thing I should just say. I think one of the awesome things is that there are, like, specifics in like, when working with you, there's, like, specific numbers, specific markups, like, it's not
Theory.
vague, it's, like, completely, put in a formula
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what that is the goal, is to give you real tangible information, that you can do something with, not just you should feel good about this and charge your worth. I mean, I agree people should charge their worth, but if you don't know what that is, or you've never really talked about it, and then you don't specifically know what charging your worth means based on your years of experience, it becomes a useless piece of information unless
And
you can have something to hold on to. Um,
I think that's so right, and, just one quick thing, if anybody listening is like me, I wanna know how to do it. I wanna know how to do it, and then I'm gonna do it. I don't need, like, to I mean, maybe I do, but I don't like, I'm not interested in, like, mindset, like, you're worth it, like, you're valuable. It's like, "Okay, cool, but valuable how? Like, what percentage?" And so I want, like, the how.
right.
And I think there's a lot of that here that's, like, very easy to just immediately take away and put into practice in your own business.
Yeah, and I'm happy to hear you say that, because that was one thing I was really striving for. And then just even to take it one step further, like we even talk about after the challenge, you can join the membership, and we kind of talk about how to frame conversations, which is sort of the next piece. Like, how do I handle this objection? How do I frame this conversation? How do I sell this to my client? So that's even taking it one step further. But I don't want to get into that too much today, because I know we're running a little bit longer than we were hoping, but I have one last question for you, which is, you were the lucky winner. So during the challenge, I have a business audit giveaway where I audit someone's business, and you were the lucky winner of the business audit. So I just wanted to, give you an opportunity to talk about what you thought of that audit and how you felt about the value of that time that we spent together.
Oh, whoever is listening to this and signs up, like, I hope you win. I was very excited to win, and marketing is not a strong suit for me, and I think so I've listened to a lot of voices, and I think, like, over time, your message or, like, who you are kind of gets, like, bogged down in all this the advice of other people and,
Yes.
what everybody thinks you should do, and by the time you're done, you just like this, like, vanilla, like, website that just says, like, "Please hire me," in big letters. And Pam was just like, "This is cool. Why don't you highlight this? And, like, who are you hoping to attract? Because, like, this paragraph has nothing to do with that." And it was like it's just, like, very, like, again, actionable. Like, I took 3 pages of notes, and it was just, like, rapid fire, like and everything was, like every suggestion was, like, a banger. Like, I was, like, doing that immediately, doing that immediately. wow, I can't believe I didn't see that before, but definitely doing that immediately. It was, like, very insightful.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it all comes back to perspective too. Just like as designers, we can walk into someone's home and see something offensive right away, like why do you have that horrible XYZ? It's again comes to perspective. Like when you're in it, when you live in a home for a while, you don't see things anymore. When you're head down working on your business, just trying to get some things to stick. Like, there's no shade there. Like I think it's just having the outside perspective really helps to to see some things that, while you're running, wearing 10,000 hats, something you didn't see. But I think it's just starting to pinpoint, and that business audit is so much fun for me. So I can't wait to give another one away. And I know that when I did that one with Audra, we were like, it was just like a really fun time. Like we were having a really great time, and I could tell, Audra, you were getting excited about where this was taking you and your business. So it was super fun for me to do it. So I loved doing it, and I can't wait to do another one of those. So
It was like you were in my business. It was so weird. Like, the level of advice was, like, as if you had sat here with me for the 2 years of my business and helped me plan like, you were on the inside track of what I was wanting to do. So, yeah, whoever gets that, gonna be very lucky.
yeah, I can't wait. So that's a great segue into, we're gonna wrap up our time with Audra, but I want to let all of you know that I'm running this challenge again next week. And this time I'm going to be doing it during the week because we did try it on the weekends, and we know a lot of people are doing activities on the weekends. So it's going to be during the week. It's going to be a Wednesday, Thursday. And we've got the date set for next week. All the information will be in the show notes so that if you want to sign up for the challenge, you can certainly do that. Audra, thank you so much for being here. Anything that you want, any parting comments do you want to leave? Or you like, just thanks so much for being here and spending a little time with me. Thanks for being in my group. I love having you in there. You're so much fun. Um, so anything you want to say before I let you go?
Yeah, I think this has been a tremendous value to me, like, right away. It's not something that was, like, a long arc. It's not a long program. Like,
Right.
it's short and sweet, and it packs a lot of punch.
Awesome. Yeah. So beyond the challenge, there's some coaching that can continue on, which we do in a very short spurt. So that's also something that we talk about in the challenge. But Audra, thank you so much for hanging out with me, for talking to me about your experience, for letting others who might be interested in the challenge just kind of get a sneak peek into what they might expect and what they might find, spending just a few hours with me next week. So I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to the Six Figure Designer Podcast. If you're ready to make six figures in your interior design business, then check out my Design Business Bootcamp. Our next session starts soon, so let's get you to six figures stat.